Let me share with you 2 steps that if you can master this will be a game changer for you in business. I can literally say these 2 points have brought our company millions of dollars over the last few years. That's just directly trackable to these 2 steps. So the first one is being able to secure what we call a face-to-face meeting. And it's simply called a face-to-face because whether it's in person or virtual like Zoom, it's face-to-face. I prefer this over a phone call or email or anything else because I can see people, I can look them in their eyes, even virtually, even 2-dimensional like that. I can say, hey, we're looking each other in the eye. I can sense body language. I can feel emotion, all of those kinds of things with them. And this face-to-face meeting is so important to set up because it will be the foundation of building a relationship with this connector who now gets you in front of their audience. Now, the question is, what do you do in this face-to-face? So before I share with you the 4 steps in this method of what you're gonna do with this individual or any of these individuals in these ideal connector face-to-face meetings, let me take you back for a minute because really this method evolved. And I've shared some other stories. You can go back and click some of these other videos that we have about how this method came about, but just really high level of it. A young man kept reaching out to me saying, hey, I really wanna meet with you I need to network with you. And finally my assistant was like, this guy's persistent. Would you just take him to lunch and go? Because I was like, I don't see the value of it. He wasn't connecting with me in a way up front that I saw value, why we should have a face-to-face. That's an important thing. So, but I did, he was persistent, I went, and it was just one of those lunches that was just horrible from the start. Like he was talking about a topic that I had no interest in. He was talking about cars. I just really have no interest in cars that way. Like I just need a car that gets me to and from where I'm going. But he didn't know that because he didn't ask. He just talked about it the whole time. And the whole lunch, I'm sitting there thinking, how can I get out of this? I'm sure you've been in those. If not, just wait. You haven't been in business long enough. It will happen. In your mind, you're thinking like, how fast can I get out of this? I need to just get away from this whole meeting. But as we got up to leave, he said those magic words, which were, hey man, we should do this again sometime. I'm like, man, not on your life. There's just no way this is happening. And I was super frustrated, felt like my time was wasted, which is a highly driven entrepreneur. Like the biggest way to lose with me is feel like you're wasting my time. Like that's just, it was game over. And I was driving back to my office, frustrated. I thought, this really isn't his fault. No one taught him what to do in a face-to-face meeting. So I called my team and I said, hey, clear the whiteboard, clears the space, let's create this. This is a method we've been doing for years. I just need to sort of codify it and put it in a way that it's a framework that people could operate in. Hence, then we created what's called the bond method. And so let me share with you this bond method because it is the game changer when you get an opportunity to have a face-to-face with your ideal connector. So bond is an acronym. The start of B is build on a common interest. You've got to build on something in common. When you hop on this Zoom call or your face-to-face, build on something in common. This young man, he started with cars and that wasn't something we had in common. So you got to ask some questions. This is a really big skill set. What can you see? I mean, I've done some of them on Zoom and I can see something in the background on a shelf or anything and I can call that out. Oh, hey, I see you got a football on that shelf. It looks like it's signed. Who signed that football? And I could just start with that and just build on anything that's possible you have in common. This is the foundation. My advice to you is do not go too quickly through this phase. Just like any good structure that's built, it has to be built on a good foundation. If you move too quickly, you won't establish what's there to have something long-term. So build on something in common. Spend some time talking about that. You understand they have maybe children in the picture on their desk. Talk about that. Ask them some questions. Maybe you see something about where they're from. You cannot go through this too fast. Build on that connection. And you'll find when you hit something that people are really interested in, they will want to spend a fair amount of time talking about it. This is not your time to talk about you. It's your time and your turn to find out about them. Now, once you feel like you've established this rapport through building on a common interest, you want to move to O, which is occupation exploration. Now it's the time to really dig in and go, tell me about your business. Tell me about what you're doing. How did you get started? And remember, the power of the answer is in the power of the question. So if you ask really deep, powerful, direct questions, you're going to get phenomenal answers. If there's sort of yes or no, really surface level questions, then that's the responses you should expect to get back. And that's where the skill set is really asking phenomenal questions so that you can build on this relationship. Don't ask the thing that everyone's asking, ask them something different. Hey, who's your competitors and why are they your competitors? What do you see in the next couple of years that could be a threat to your business? What do you see as opportunities over the next couple of years for your business? Things like that. Get them really thinking that they can share things that are interesting to them about the business. Remember, a really key point is it's more important in this for you to be interested in them than for you to be interesting. Don't talk about yourself. Hear what they have to say. Now, once you've moved past this stage and you really feel like you've got an understanding of their business, you're going to move to N, which is needs discovery. And to me, the needs discovery is where you really want to listen. You're going to find out things about them. And this is where if you've built enough rapport through the B and the O stage, they're going to share some of those needs. I always love it when I can tell as a gauge by how transparent and how vulnerable they are about some of the needs they have means I've done a really good job of building that connection, that rapport and that trust in the early stages of bond. So I'm gonna ask things like, who are you looking for? Who do you need to connect with? What's the one thing that would take your business to the next level? What's an obstacle? Where are you stuck? Like if you had one ask for help, what would that look like? These are really powerful questions to dig into where people might be stuck. And I'm fascinated with what people will share with me. And as I'm listening to what they need, I'm asking clarifying questions like, hey, let me ask you more about that. Or, hey, tell me more about the thing you just shared with me. That's interesting. Why is it that you're stuck there? And I get them to just tell me more. And I have gone through some of these bond sessions and I've had people share with me, every single time someone wants to meet with me, all they're doing is asking me for business. And you haven't asked one thing of me because I'm trying to build the relationship. Once you have an understanding of their needs, now you're going to transition to, and this is where practice really makes perfect. Because if you move too quickly to D, which is develop an opportunity, you can ruin the whole opportunity. Okay. You can actually throw the whole thing out. You've got to take time on this and know when the right time is to transition. So let me give you an example. Let's say I'm meeting with John, the realtor again, and he's sharing with me some of the needs. He says, "God, you know what I really need is I really need a good accountant." I hear that and I might hold that and finish up the needs discovery. And then when I move to the develop opportunity, I say, you know, John, a few minutes ago, you mentioned that you needed a good accountant and you said you needed one because of whatever the reason. Would it be helpful if I referred you to my accountant? He's really good. I think he'd be able to help you fill that need. Would that be all right if I connected the two of you? What do you think John's gonna say? John's gonna be like, absolutely, connect me now. And again, did we do business together? No. But does John see me as a valuable asset for him? Of course. And the more that I can do that and the more that I can connect people to another one, then they see me as a valuable resource in their life. And that's the entire point. You want to be able to connect people all the time. So you're an ideal connector, but they're also an ideal connector for you. And that's where this reciprocity will come in and you'll have the opportunity, maybe not the first time, maybe not the second time you talk, but eventually you're going to be able to have an ask. The number of times that I've connected people and they'll come back to me and say, hey man, appreciate that. What can I do for you? Well, you know, I was thinking last time we spoke, you as a realtor have access to whatever. And that's my ideal client. I would love an opportunity to bring some value to your people in this manner, structured in a way where they look like a hero to their own audience, and you will have magic every single time. You can build an entire business off of connecting with ideal connectors and getting in front of their audiences. I love the story that Russell Brunson tells when he was marketing his new book, and he realized that Tony Robbins has this massive audience and that his book would be perfect for Tony's audience. And he built a relationship with Tony over a 7-year process, like 7 to 10 years. And somewhere in that, he had enough where Tony reached out and he said, hey, what can I do to help you? And he said, well, you know how I helped you grow your book? I would like your help in growing and sharing my new book to your audience. And he said, anything you want. So he did a Facebook Live, Tony did, to his own audience, that then he gave Russell access to run ads to Tony's audience for his book. And then he split a revenue share of every book sale with Tony. He was able to sell a massive amount of books in a short period of time because of the 7-year bond method of building a foundation that he did with Tony Robbins. And the reason that that's important is most people completely throw that activity out because it takes time. But think of the millions of dollars that that could have brought or has brought Russell because he spent the time investing in people and not just another thing that he could do. So this one skill set will massively grow your business if you understand how to set a solid face-to-face and use the bond method to build relationships with your ideal connectors.